beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. Woo! So I'm out here, heading out actually, and I want to just send love to all of you out there who are watching, and also to say a big, huge thank you to all of you. And I hope all is well with you and your loved ones. Sorry about the background noise. Starlight can't help any of that. So a big, huge thank you to all of you who have been here loving and supporting Starlight. Maybe watching my video, maybe giving me thumbs up, or sharing, or even leaving Starlight a message. So thank you, all of you. And also for anyone that would like to send any love donations, Starlight would love to receive that, and you can on my Cash App, and that is here. Ping! There you go. And so today, Starlight is going to jump into this video. Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman. Plus, don't forget you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, plus give me a thumbs up, and you can also leave a message down below, beep, 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 and you can share my videos with your family, your friends. Don't forget to ring the notification bell, and you can check out my playlist. Plus, you can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. Oh, choom, there goes Starlight. So, anyway, right now, this topic is about, do you have a hard time being positive? And we all can go through that at different times. And so it's really important in this reality, no matter who you are, is to be positive. And I meet a lot of people, and I listen to them talk. I listen, what they got to say. And we all can go through challenges like that. And so I want to make this videos to help all of you to understand how important it is to be positive. So here, because Starlight's got a lot of weight on her right now with my yoga mat and my chair and my backpack. So yes, it is so vitally important, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're facing in life is to be positive. And I tell you what, we all can go through this at times where you might feel that you're being positive, but the universe says something different. The universe and the archangels, they know your subconscious mind, and the thoughts that, we're not, all your thoughts are not your own. So that's what you got to watch out for is, Starlight's looking at some digging signs here. So I'm trying to figure this out, though. I'm seeing all these lines out here. It looks like some kind of animal. Look at that. Starlight loves checking this stuff out. So anyway, about being positive, and that is what Starlight does a lot, is you gotta protect your energy. Number one, you gotta protecting your aura, you gotta protect yourself. And whether you know this or not, we're gonna pick up some shit out in public, because we're gonna go into stores, we're gonna go into some place, no matter where you go. It doesn't even matter if it's a church building, because even in the church building, there's all kinds of funky stuff going on in there. Why do you think they get corrupted for? Because people with unclean spirits walk in there. Dark entity, people that have dark entities or whatever dark entities that could be attached to people without them being aware of it, walk in those places. So, you're not going to be safe just going into, a church building thinking, hey, tag, like that's your, like playing hide-go-seek, like that's the safe place. No, it's not definitely the safe place. A lot of shit can happen even in a church building. So with this video is, number one, you got to protect yourself. And that means, where do you spend all your time, Starlight? Where do you think? Look at it, it snowed last night. Hey, how did that happen? So, so I like getting alone with myself like I did today, and it's about, because it's so important. I got to work on my chakras. I have been hugging people. There's people that, they help me out, and before you know it, they're throwing, like, boom, they're hugging me. And there's times I don't have enough, I'm not quick enough to, hey, no, you can't hug me. I had to make a shirt like, do not hug me. I don't know, how would that look out in public? Do not hug me. Do not touch me. Starlight does not really like people hugging and touching her. I really wish people would ask, hey, is it all right if I touch your hands? If it's all right if I touch your leg? Is it all right if I give you a hug? And the answer will be, no, it is not okay. I don't want to shake your hand. And it's because it's not that I'm mean and I'm rude and all that, and it doesn't mean that I don't love people. It means that I got to protect my space. This is my space. This is my aura. So you got to protect your space in life, is to, especially, like there's people that you might think but how well do you really know them? How well do you really know those people? Do you know what kind of company they keep? Do you know what kind of stuff they watch on the TV? Do you know what kind of stuff they listen to on the radio or on the TV? Because people can pick up a lot of negative, low vibrational stuff, by the music. Sometimes I'm out in public and there'll be a guy because this recently just happened, a guy in a big diesel pickup truck shows up at a gas station. The music is blaring, and then I'm listening to the words. I'm like, wow, I don't want to even get near that man just because of the music that he was listening to, and it was really loud. He wanted everybody to hear his music, and I never heard that kind of music. So you really do. You gotta really think of the kind of how well do you know the people in your life? A lot of times we want to say, I know you, and I used to think, well, hey, because I did know somebody like like the time that I met them, as I'm like, wow, we've known each other like 20 plus years. Like, wow, isn't that something? So I'm like, wow, I guess we really know each other. Right, we really know each other, right? We've been like, I met you. What year was that? Like I got out of church and I met you at this certain time. And I'm not actually talking to anybody on my YouTube channel, but I'm just using this as an example. This is really cool spot. Starlight wants to have a bonfire right here. Look at this. They actually have benches in front of this fire pit. I wonder what they use this for, because they got the east, south, west, north, or east, west, north, south. So yeah, so how well? I mean, like 20 years. Wow, doesn't that sound like a long time? Like, yeah, I can say I know that person, but what out of the 20 years, think about this, is how many hours do you think you spent with that person that you say you know for 20 years? Did you see them? Did you spend time with them every day? How many, like, was it on the weekends? Because that was the case with Starlight. It was on the weekends. I had to go to work on the weekdays. They had to go to work on the weekdays. So the weekends. And then there was times, life happens, and then we didn't see each other for years, and then, somehow or another, we get back and connected again, and then, we're back hanging out with each other again, doing stuff, and so really, if you add it up, I really don't know them 20, even though I say that, I know, I've known you for 20 something years. You'd think by now you would know somebody, but you really got to break it down to how many hours is that, some people, they're like, hey, I knew you since, growing up, but you didn't spend any time with them all that time after high school, and you went their way. I mean, you went your way and they went their way, and and then you might have went to a bar somewhere, and boom, you bump into each other, you hang out with each other for a bit, and then and then you fall away because life happens, and and then you kind of, now you're, what age are you now? Like now you're 40 years, and you got kids, and then somehow or another you run across paths again, or they call you up and they talk on the phones, kind of catching up on lost time. So it's so important to really know how well, do you really know these people? And that's why, you got to be selective on the kind of people that you spend time with. And I was really bad when I was younger, because I spent a lot of time with a lot of people, but if they made me feel really bad, then I wasn't, but I have to say there's some family members, yeah, I did feel bad, and I kept on spending time with them, and then bam, it was a lesson. Like, Starlight, why do you keep on going? Like, you got beat up, and why do you go back to get beat up again? Not that they really beat me up, but you go through some shit with some people, and they make you feel horrible. They drain your energy, and then you're like, oh, let's go back. Yeah, that was so much fun, Starlight. Let's go back and hang out with them again this weekend. Yeah, does sound like a plan, Starlight. What? No, man, I gotta take a break from that person. Holy shit, man. I mean, it drained my ass all week. I had no energy. That's all I could think about was them the whole week. So you got to really think of the kind of people, and how do you feel better, after you're not spending time. Do they inspire you in some way where you're like, wow, I got a lot to look forward to, going back to meet them. My whole weekend was great. I was really supercharged, that whole week, because I spent time with that person, and, we spent time over the weekend, and wow, I feel like a new woman. I feel like a new man, because those are the kind of people that you want to spend time with, is because they're there to help you out, and it should be kind of a give and take. You should be doing something to help them out too. So it's so important to really know the people that you spend in time with. Are they helping you to grow, or are they beating you up with words and making, criticizing you, and judging you, and without even knowing the full story? And that happens a lot with people, is they don't know you, but they want to act like they know you. And so just because you told them some stories, they think, oh yeah, I got you figured out right now, but they don't. And that's why you got to be careful. Are you spending time with people that criticize you and that tear you down and tear you apart? Those are the kind of people that you're going to want to let go. I can't tell you to let go of those people. Those are things, like long time ago. I did this for years. I had some family members, they seen it, they heard about it. Starlight was so heartbroken, I was like, man, and they saw how Starlight was always running around helping this person out all the time, and then bam, I said, no more. I gave the key to them. I'm like, here's your key. And that was it. I didn't see him for years. And then as time goes by, it's kind of funny when that happens. You could have let go of somebody in the past, and then you either have a friend or a family member or somebody that tries to put you back together, like Humpty Dumpty, and now you're back together again. And then, everything starts out in a slow kind of thing. You're getting back together with somebody that hurt you, and, you try to forgive them. And before you know it, after so many years, they're back at it again. So those are the people that, you got to watch out for, because do you think it's going to get better the next time, And so protecting your energy means to really be mindful of the kind of people you spend time with. And if you really know them, do you know what kind of movies they watch? Are they always watching the news all the time? Are they watching the low frequency, low vibrational kind of stuff? Because if you're spending time with those people, it's gonna really be really difficult for you to even have positive thoughts because of the kind of people you spend your time with. So it is so important. Starlight's gonna go this way. I see my car over this way because Starlight's learning these trails out here. My intuition said, go this way, Starlight. So and that's why protecting your energy, so you can be positive, is that you really got to be mindful of the kind of people you spend time with. Where do they go? What kind of places do they hang out? Are they spending time? Do they meditate? Do they, are they working on themselves? Do they, what kind of conversations do they, have? I mean, is it always always coming up with negative stuff without solutions, without, caring, about things, and that's why right now I had a lesson. I was able to go to a gym, practically for free for a whole month. You know what? But the energy's not good. I felt like I never really watched any of the zombie movies, but I felt like, I was in a zombie movie walking into the girls' locker room, and I'm like, you know what? It might be a great deal to come in here for 26 cents a month, to come in here and use the gym or even take a shower. But you know what? Is it really worth my energy being, my frequency being lowered for 26 cents? Starlight, come on, what are you thinking? It's 26 cents a month. Starlight, come on, go in there, girl, you got this. No, I don't want to go back to that gym, even if it's 26 cents a month to go take a shower. Because that's how important it is to protect your energy. It could do some funky stuff to you without you even realizing how contagious that stuff is. Like with COVID, you couldn't see COVID, right? Did any of you guys or girls get COVID? I did. Whoo! That knocked me right flat on my ass. Bam! There goes Starlight. Starlight was out. I was out so bad I ended up going in the hospital, and that was another trauma thing that happened. But anyway, so what kind of communications do these people have? What do they talk about? Is it, positive things that they're talking about, working on themselves 2026, or talking about their goals for 2026, or are they just talking bad and ripping people apart all the time? Those are the kind of people that you're going to really want to avoid like the plague. And if you don't, guess what? It will be a lesson for you. A lot of times we're not even aware of how bad low frequency vibrational energy people, like energy vampires, really have an effect on us. And not only it has a horrible effect on us, it'll even affect you and your relationships. You could have a great relationship with somebody, but if you're going to spend time with low vibrational frequencies and vibrations, it could ruin relationships, because it could really dampen a relationship that you could have had or do have with somebody that you care about and love. And let's see, even the kind of food I have to bring up, because food actually can lower your energy and frequency because of the kind of food that you're eating, or it has a way, like eating fast food can really drain your energy. Eating the wrong kind of food can drain your energy. So it's not going to really make you feel a lot of, you might have a high and then a low. So you really gotta eat healthy, and getting out in nature is the best thing you can do. Sorry, Starlight's out here spacing out because I'm at the parking lot here. So you gotta really be mindful of the kind of people that you spend time with, and not only the kind of people you're spending time with, is how about you? What kind of conversations do you have, and what do you watch on the TV, and what kind of music do you listen to? Where do you spend your time? Because you could be picking up some shit. I don't know. I don't have any dog shit out here, but I did see some on the trail. But yeah, you could pick up some really bad negative vibes and negative frequencies in your body and not even be aware of it. And that's why Starlight doesn't like people touching me. People really need to ask permission. Say, hey, hold on your fingers, or is it all right if I give you a hug? Because you got to understand, some people, they've gone through some stuff in their life, in their past, and they don't want people to touch them. And not only that, is there's people like Starlight, is I want to protect my energy, if I don't know you, and it's a shame, because this is how, there's people that get it. You're transferring energy, and people can take your energy away from you without you even knowing. And that's what you got to really be careful. There's people out there, they want to take something from you by trying to take your energy away from you. They could see the light in you. And so that's what you got to watch out for, is that there's people out there that could be trying to take some of your energy that you worked really hard, and it will drain you in the long run. So I hope, and so you got to really ask yourself, am I listening to the news too much? Am I spending too much time? What are you watching online? What kind of movies are you? I used to watch serial killing movies. I don't watch movies anymore. Because it's not good for me. I used to watch a lot of cop shows, with all kinds of horrible stuff happening. And I liked watching those because I always wanted to figure out who did it. Are they guilty? Are they guilty? Did they do it? Starlight always wanted to, be an officer, put the bad guys away. But that's not what the universe has in store for Starlight. So, those are ways to protect your energy and getting out in nature as much as possible. And how to deal with that kind of energy in your body is, they do have crystals and stones like that you can, go to a crystal store and ask them, hey, is there something that will help me out with my, so I can have positive energy where it can cleanse me and clear me from negative energies. And also sage, white sage. Plus, also meditation is a way of clearing that stuff out. But really, by really protecting yourself is by avoiding, connecting with people, hugging people, shaking hands with people, touching hands with, people, strangers that you don't know. Those are ways that is going to help you, because they could have really had a rotten, horrible day, and now, they're touching you and holding you and hugging you, and just like the COVID, they can transfer stuff to you without you even being aware of. And there's people that lose loved ones. Imagine, giving somebody a big old hug after they just lost a loved one. What do you think that's going to do to you? Because they've been carrying that energy for, like who knows how long. And that energy is still going to be with them in their aura. And so you do, that these are ways that will help you to be more positive, is being really mindful of the kind of people that you have in your life and the things that you ought to watch out for in your own life, and things that you eat. What kind of food do you eat? Because that has a way of affecting us with our energy level, and so we could say we're being positive and stuff like that, but the universe really knows if we're really being positive or not, because the subconscious mind, a lot of times we're not really aware of what's going on deep within us. So anyway, I love you so much. This is Starlight. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, plus give me a thumbs up, and you can leave me a message down below, beep, beep, beep. Plus, you could share my videos with your family or friends, and don't forget the notification bell, and check out my playlist. And you can also find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman, Starlight. Thank you for watching. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.